This is my project on Max Ernst and his connection to magical realism and art. Max Ernst was a German artist who was a major pioneer in the Dadaist movement and Surrealism. Dadaism was a movement spawned following the outbreak of World War One, and its works were associated with rejecting reason and logic and embracing the illogical and irrational. There were many anti-war elements that were expressed in these works and was critical of the bourgeois and reality itself. Surrealism was heavily inspired by the Dadaist movement, as many artworks depicted ordinary objects as strange creatures or creations, which created a dreamlike world. This was a way for artists like Ernst to dive into and allow the unconscious to express itself. Many themes in Ernst's works were very political, focusing on the state of reality and the possible destruction of humanity. The first image is called Aquae Submersis, which depicts two figures, one diving into a pool and another lifeless with no limbs in the foreground. I believe that this represents Ernst diving into his own subconscious in order to escape reality, which makes him feel boxed in and empty, just like the figure in the foreground. It is a way to get away from the rational world and explore the surrealistic aspects of life. In literature, magical realism takes elements of the supernatural and applies it to the real world. Here, everything is realistic, but the person diving into the pool is representing the feeling of being transported into another world. Second, we see the murderous airplane, which depicts a battle airplane made of two large human arms and three soldiers walking over an open field. Since he partook in service during World War One, this painting has a lot more meaning than what simply meets the eye. The plane represents the rising prevalence of machines in warfare, showing how it has influenced us in battle. By itself, the plane is harmless, but when piloted by man is when it becomes very deadly. As it is the biggest subject, we can see how helpless us humans are when compared to the great machines like this airplane. In this, we see the elephant Celebes, which is one of Ernst's most popular works and an important surrealistic piece depicting a large mechanical elephant. The picture depicts the elephant as a bringer of destruction to reality as we know it. We can see here a dark, hazy background, fish flying in the air, a dead tree, and a human mannequin without its head. Similar to the murderous airplane, Celebes also represents the fear of mechanical dominance over the world and the unknowns that follow it with a dystopian undertone. The next picture is called Forest and Dove, which shows a bizarrely drawn forest with trees and a dove in the middle of it. The dove is shown to be boxed in, giving the sense of it being trapped in the forest, which emanates a feeling of intrigue and fear. This also takes inspiration from Ernst's childhood, where he lived in a forest, which he felt emotions similar to this dove. Finally, we have the Barbarians, which shows two large, ominous figures standing over a plain field. These figures, while menacing in appearance, appear to be benign and represent the impending chaos and destruction to come for humanity's future. This is also insignificant because this art piece was made before the beginning of World War II, where the entirety of Europe was plunged into chaos and destruction.